Good morning. Thank you for joining me on A Sister's Trust. Well, I want to do a quick and easy baking meal. And it's going to have zucchini, turkey meat, and potatoes. And it's going to be like a casserole. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So in my ingredients, inside my bake, I'm going to do an onion and a bell pepper. Cut it up to the size that you want. I decided to use, they call it simply potatoes. So I have that in the oven now, just browning just a little bit. And with my zucchini, I decided I cut it in real thin, and I decided to go ahead and boil it down so it could be tender just a little bit, because everything really is going to cook and bake in the oven. I'm going to add a little bit of Bella mushrooms to it. I bought from supermarket. And in my topping, I'm going to add some some sour cream and some cream of mushroom. And I'm going to use some of my almond milk. So, and also I decided to use a little bit of Lipton soup onion mix. And at the very top, I'm going to use some Kraft 8-ounce cheese. Now, unless I decide that I want a little bit more cheesy, then I'll decide it then, okay? Now, I'm just going to take a few seconds and chop up my vegetables. Now, I do have some mushrooms, but I'm thinking about just putting them in just the size that they are, because I want them to be not only just a savory meal, I want to be able to taste the food and the chunks that's in the meal. So let me go ahead and just chop this up. Sometimes you forget what you got. Like I got this for Christmas, this little chopping tool. And it's called the Cuisinart. Cuisinart. And it comes in handy. So I'm just going to chop it up really quick. Look how that's just chopping all ordered. Now I don't want it to be too fine, because I just want to, so I know this is one big piece. I'll take that out. Onion that's in here. Well, with just that few seconds, because I want to be able to sprinkle it through my things. Let's see. See how fine that is? But it's not. It's still that you have a taste without, getting rid of everything. So that's just enough to change that consistency just a little bit, so that they won't be biting into the chunks. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. Move that to the side. And so I'm going to make my mixture for my topping, which is going to be the cream of mushroom soup. My potatoes are still in the oven cooking a little bit, because I just want them to brown some, even though it's gonna have a while to cook, because I want that mushroom soup to like really cook down. I'm not gonna add the water. Okay, so I used a pack of Lipton soup mix, and it's already got the onion mix, and it's already got a lot of seasoning in it, right? Because you don't want to have too much salt, right? Put that in that little can. I used to have like a little garbage can right by me, because I don't like stuff to be cleaning up. And then all I want to do, excuse me one second, well, I could use my fork, is I want to get it where it's going to be pourable. I do want to add a little bit of sour cream to this. So hold on one second, I'll be back. So this container is a 16-ounce. So I got a half of it left. So I want to go ahead. So you say about 8 ounces of sour cream. I love keeping these containers later, because when I make my little meals, I could put just enough. Right now with my diet, I'm on a cup of food each time I eat. And I have to also watch what I eat. But I still have to make also good stuff for my family. So I'm going to wash this out. So you see, it's got a good thickness to it. So when I add my almond milk, I want it just enough so that it makes it pourable, so that when I pour it across everything, that it's able to pour really easy. So I'm going to mix this up really good. See how thick that is? Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of my almond milk. Like I said, I just want the milk to make it so that it can spread easy across what I'm doing. I don't want it really watery and all that, but I want enough that it can spread. So kind of like take it a little bit at a time. You know, you could do your own measurements. See how good that is? I think that's thin enough. So I don't want it baking all day because it's supposed to be a quick, easy bake, right? That's the whole point. So that's my mixture. Move this over to the side. For my seasoning, so already like sauteed my ground beef. Excuse me, I don't know why I said ground beef, because I think I was reading things at the store. But this is ground turkey. So I already sauteed that. I put some little bit of salt, and I put some onion powder in it, and a little bit of paprika. I boiled down my zucchini because I want a little bit of vegetables in there, so I'm going to drain that because that's going to be part of my topping. I made it so that it got tender, but not all the way completely tender because it's still going to cook, okay? And like I said, I'm going to use my bella mushrooms also. Okay, guys, we are all prepped and ready to cook. So already drained my zucchini. I have my savory topping, which has a pack of Lipton soup, the onion mix. I'm going to use my Bella mushrooms from Publix. I already cooked my potatoes a little bit. And don't be like me and put it on the stove and still be cooking them. I wanted it to cook just enough so that it could, still be tender. And I also season it with a little bit of salt, and I use onion powder, not salt, okay? I chopped down my bell pepper and onion in my machine, which I said was called the Cuisinart, Cuisinart. I got it for Christmas. And I sauteed my turkey with a little bit of salt, paprika, and onion powder. I didn't put a lot of extra seasoning in it because the mixture is going to have the seasoning, right? So now what I want to do, I decided, because I chopped this so much, I'm going to go ahead and add this to my meat. And I'm going to stir that around really good, because I wanted to have the flavor, but I also wanted them to have the a few of the chunks in the food. Take this one out because evidently this one didn't get cut as much. Okay, now my hands are clean. I'm just gonna get it and I'm just gonna spread it across my potatoes. And I like these potatoes because they're shredded. And one of my friends, she liked using that brand also, because she's the one who told me about that's an easier brand versus getting something that's frozen. Put this to the side to wash. See how that covers really good? Then I want to go ahead and put some of my, I think I'm going to chop these mushrooms up just a little bit. So let's see. Move this out the way a second, because they feel a little bit heavier than I thought, but not too much. I just want to cut them in little pieces because it's big chunks, and I really don't need big chunks, but I want them to cook down, and I want them to be able to taste the mushrooms. And like I said, with the seasoning of what we're pouring in there, that's gonna take up a lot of that. Put a few more. Okay. Make sure your pan isn't all that hot. And I'm just gonna sprinkle them across. Get my hands and move them across, you know, because when they also cut it to eat, you know, they'll be able to have a few chunks. Now, what I want to do is get my zucchini and just kind of spread it in there. This smells so good already. The cool thing about this, half of this stuff is already cooked, right? The zucchini is cooked. Like I said, not to fall off, but still to hold the shape of the zucchini, but the outside of it is tender enough that you can chew through it, so it don't feel like you just trying to really chew. You want to enjoy your meal without worrying about if you can actually chew it. See how that looks? Oh, that looks scrumptious. Now, y'all see I'm trying to go fast too because I also have a job. I have to work. So, let me get a spoon. So, I'm getting my spoon over here. Then I need to open up that salon so my customer could come in. So, in this mixture again, like I said, it was Lipton soup. It was 8 ounces of sour cream. I used my almond milk until it got thin enough so it could pour. And 1 can of the condensed cream of mushroom. I didn't put water with it because I was using my almond milk. So now what I want to do is just, I'm going to pour it straight down the middle. Y'all can see that? This is going to be so good. I think I'm only able to eat a corner of it. Who knows? I don't know. Sometimes when you cook stuff, you don't really have the desire to eat. But look. And so I'm going to get that from the middle, and I'm just going to spread it all across my dish. Making sure all the corners are done, because I want it to be able to cook down into my meal. Now, my stove is on 350. And I'm going to check in probably in about 30 minutes. And then, because when I put the cheese on it, I want the cheese just to cook into its milk, because the meal should be pretty much done. So now we got our vegetables in here. We got our meat. We got some starch. We got, you know, a lot of things. So this is how it looks. And so now I'm going to put it in the oven for, like I said, about 35 minutes. That's nice and hot in there. And my stove is at 350. Okay, guys, so when I put my dish in the oven for like 30 minutes, it only really took almost 20 minutes to cook. So let me show you how good it looks. Hold on. And this is right before I'm going to put my cheese on it. Look how nice that cooked in really good. It soaked everything really, really good. And that was about 20 minutes. All right, guys, now it's time to add in my cheese. And I'm using the Creamy Melt by Kraft. I like to put everything in the middle and then spread it out. That's easier. Covering all the corners. So pretty much everything is done because everything was kind of pre-cooked. Other than my um, onions and bell peppers, and mushrooms. The onions and bell peppers, which I had, I kind of chopped them down really fine. Now, if you want to, you could add more cheese. This is like 8 ounce worth of cheese. I like to make sure all my things are covered. This pan is still really hot. And there you go. Okay, so we sauteed the ground turkey with salt and a little bit of onion powder and paprika. So kind of, saute it down to what you think is really good. And then I had already pre-boiled my zucchini to make it tender, so the outer shelling of the zucchini could be tender. And then, I put the meat on the, I had already pre-did my potatoes, which I told you the brand, and I'll write it down. And also, so the potatoes was pre-cooked in the oven just a little bit. And then I put my meat, I had mixed that onions and bell pepper with my turkey. And then I put that on, and then I put my zucchini across it. I put my sauce across. And remember the sauce is the Lipton onion soup, cream of mushroom, 8 ounces of sour cream, and I used my almond milk until I got it to be enough to pour. I didn't want it running and everything. That's why it don't take as long to cook. So now I'm fixing to put this in the oven, hopefully about 10 minutes, and it'll be time for my customer to come. I'm gonna let her in and tell her, hey, I gotta go run and check my dish. And it should be done. Hopefully I have a great picture to show you guys. So again, thank you for joining me on A Sister's Trust. I thank you guys so much for supporting me. Please share my station with others and put on the bell so you can know my next meal or prayer or whatever else I got going on. I'll start trying to put in categories. Thank you again. I love you all and have a great day.